What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with another Tales of Crestoria video. So, they just added some stuff to the Tales of Crestoria website. If you go to the actual Tales of Crestoria English Tales, blah, 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 and you go down to the special tab, they updated their blog. So, they didn't have anything here before. So, they have a blog here that we're going to go over, hopefully quickly. I don't know how long this is going to take. But essentially you can go here and read it, and it's just pretty much stuff, everything related to Crestoria and development up to this point. So we're going to quickly go over it right here. A message from the team and a report on Anime Expo 2019. So it has some stuff here about, the previous live streams, which you can watch with English subtitles. They have both the live streams here. They have the stuff from Tales Fest 2019. And then they have some breakdowns of certain things, but we're going to go over all this. And then they have stuff for Anime Expo. So let's quickly go over everything. Hello, everyone. My name is Tomomi Tagawa. I'm a producer for the upcoming smartphone game, Tales of Crestoria. And then we have an image, the little concept art. Well, not concept art, but the main kind of promotion image for the game showing off our 6 main characters. In order to help the fans learn more about Tales of Crestoria, we put together a video series hosted by members of our voice cast, Koei Amasaki, Yui Ishikawa, and Ayane Sakura. It's called Tales of Crestoria Channel. English version is a domestically streamed Japanese program, released for video on demand with English subtitles. So they're pretty much just saying that's what this was. So there are 2 live streams that you can watch to kind of learn more about the game and just kind of little fun stuff. This time I'd like to use this blog to answer some of your questions and to also provide some updates and insight into the development process. This is a unique chance to share details we can't include in normal promotions, so I hope you enjoy this behind-the-scenes look at Tales of Crestoria. About the release date. Okay, so they're not going to give us anything definitive, but first, I'm happy and thankful to hear that so many people are looking forward to Tales of Crestoria. I would also like to sincerely apologize for making all our devoted fans wait for so long. As I mentioned on the first day of Tales Fest 2019, development is reaching the most critical stage. So, that means... Oops, I didn't mean to right-click there. That means it's probably close to being done. Most likely. We are doing our utmost to deliver the best product possible to all the fans. Thank you to everyone who attended Tales Fest for the warm, encouraging response. That sounds weird. Thank you to everyone who attended Tales of Festival for the warm, encouraging... Okay. The whole development team is focusing its energy on making the best game we can. It'll be just a little longer. So, they're really confident, just a little longer. So, I'm not going to, obviously, I would say don't quote me on this, but this is going on YouTube, so, whatever. I still say before, so it's August 1st at the moment of recording this, so happy August, by the way. I'm guessing before September it'll be out. We'll have a worldwide release, obviously, they're not going to... Bandai is I can tell you this with certainty, Bandai is aware of the mistakes they made with Tales of the Rays, so this will be a joint release, and they will all be on the same server, so even if there's not as much, fan, love over here, the people who do play the English version don't have to worry about it shutting down, because it's all shared. So, we got that out of the way, so, yeah, so... I'm still saying before the end of this month, we should have it. So just a little while longer. We should probably see within the next week or 2, probably pre-registration on the Google Play and Apple stores. But obviously, I'll keep you guys updated when that stuff comes around. Tales of Festival 2019 venue, June 15th, day 1. I actually had a few friends who were here, and they told me a lot of cool stuff about it, so that was awesome. When Yui Ishikawa... Mizella's voice actress took the stage at Tales of Festival. The audience changed their light sticks to her character color, pink. This is a small memento of that touching moment. It was a beautiful sight. I'm sure I'll never forget it. Why didn't you make a story with only new characters? So this is referring to the whole fact that, if you... Oh, wait, no, it's actually down here. Obviously right here we can see... And these will obviously be early on characters. Cress, Emil, Mint, and Marta are obviously in here. And that was the big thing, too, is... Before we had seen any information on this game, the first thing that they were saying is that this is not... They promoted it as not being a crossover game. So people were really confused when we saw the first trailer and it showed, Milla, Velvet, Luke, Leon, all kinds of old Tales characters, because people were like, I wonder why they kind of did this. So let's go over this real quick. Tales of Crestoria... Crestoria was designed as a smartphone game that anyone can pick up and dive straight into the world of Tales. This includes both returning fans of the series as well as players who are encountering Tales for the first time and who might use this as a chance to explore the series. That's also a great thing about this, because obviously Tales is very niche in the West when it comes to, its popularity. And I have so many friends in just the online community who just play every single anime gacha game that comes out. They give it a try. So this could be a good way for people like that. Oh, I like these characters. Let's see what their actual games are like, type stuff. While Crestoria is a completely new game that requires no prior knowledge to the Tales series, we also wanted to give the new players the chance to meet some of the most beloved characters from other titles. You can think of it as a hybrid structure that features both brand new story with original characters in an all-star story. So basically what they're trying to say here is, even though these older characters are going to be in the game, it seems like nothing that happens in their own games is going to affect what happens to them in this world. So like these characters, for example, so Emil, for example, this Emil will probably not have had his parents killed by, I'm not going to spoil it anymore on that, but his parents get killed. You obviously know that in the beginning of the game. So the person that killed his parents will probably not have done it in this world. Or if they do, they'll retread that story in this world. So a lot of stuff like that will probably be the case here, where it's just going to be like, you're not going to need any knowledge of what happened in their games to enjoy this story. They'll have their own stories in this game. Where are we? Okay. As a smartphone game, it was made with the assumption of ongoing updates. As such, we can plan for a wide, I think they meant range, not rage, of ongoing adventures and encounters with new characters. This is the first time we have taken advantage of these strengths and made a game like this. So what it seems like they're trying to say is that it's going to follow a different structure than Tales of the Rays. Tales of the Rays, obviously, we get a monthly story chapter, which will include certain characters depending on what the plot demands, and we might get a new character or new ability type stuff. I only say ability. I'm not going to explain the whole concept of mirror arts and stuff in case you were someone who hasn't been playing that and wouldn't understand it. So it seems like they're going to focus obviously on the main six, and then these characters are going to be, kind of side stuff. And it seems like they are going to try and keep the focus on the main six, from what it seems like here. We can plan for a wide range of ongoing adventures and encounters with new characters. So that's their whole thing, is their main focus is to focus on them, while these characters are just going to kind of be supporting. To give a more concrete explanation, the elements of Tales of Crestoria story can broadly be categorized into two types of stories. The main story. The story of our protagonist, Kanata, who meets and develops close bonds with many vibrant characters over the course of his life-changing adventure. So they're obviously talking about, the regular characters. We got Vicious right here, Mizella, the rest of the game cast, as well as his interactions with the characters that'll actually be part of the main story. Like Milla, Velvet, Luke, Cress, etc. And then we have side stories that move adjacent to the main story and are filled with characters who lend Kanata and his friend a hand in their travels. So what this is obviously meaning is, you can kind of think of it in a way as maybe like if you're watching let's say you're watching an anime, and the anime goes on for a season, and then before season 2 comes out, they have a movie. If that movie obviously is canonically, integrated into the story. Think of it something like that, where it's just, this happens somewhere in between where, your main story is happening, but it's a little side story that obviously you didn't see in the main story. So yeah, that's pretty good. So like, for example, like let's say Kanata and friends go into whatever this town is, and that's where he meets Emil and Marta for the first time. Because we know Crest is going to have a pretty big role when it comes to being Kanata's mentor. So obviously he's going to be in the main story, but obviously main story characters can still be in the side stories. Like other games in the Tales series, the main story depicts the protagonist Kanata and his friends as they face main challenges in their adventures. The side stories were an interesting new challenge, although this may go without saying. In creating the world and story of a game, there are various stories unfolding all over the world that the main character may not see or even know about. So what they're saying is maybe there might be some side stories that don't have to do with Kanata at all. We see this right here. This may not even involve Kanata whatsoever. Obviously it's just, these are going to be the events, essentially. You play a gacha game, you have your main story missions that you do. Like if you've played Star Ocean or any of those kinds of games, or Final Fantasy, any of the mobile games there, you've got your main story, but then you get an event every like 2 weeks or a week and a half or something that introduces new things. You might get new weapons, new characters, and stuff like that. So that's what this is going to be like. These hidden episodes will be captured in the side stories, which will depict the world from viewpoints of characters other than... Okay, so yeah, exactly what I was just saying. So it's not going to be what Kanata sees. There'll be different stories of different characters interacting for each other. I feel like these side stories are mainly going to be for, the Tales fans, seeing certain characters interact. And this will obviously be very important to the English fan base, because Tales of the Rays got shut down pretty early due to, not really having a huge fan base over here and not making the money it needed to make. So having these kinds of interactions in actual, with English text that we'll be able to read will be really nice. For example, when Kanata leaves his home village in the wake of a certain incident, the events that occur in that village he leaves behind are shown from Crest's perspective. So it seems like Crest might go to that village, and the first kind of thing might be what Crest actually saw. The game revolves around the various interpretations and issues surrounding the concept of sin. This exploration of the central theme becomes even clearer through the series' characters' perspectives and actions. Unlike previous standalone games, using multiple perspectives allows us to truly flesh out the world and add depth to the story. We hope you all enjoy this unique facet of Crestoria's storytelling. So what that's coming off as to me is that, obviously there's only so much you can do when, it's Kanata and friends meet this character. So the side stories will really give us a chance to see these characters' personalities in different kinds of settings. And it doesn't always have to be... I have to say, one of the, things about Tales of the Rays that it kind of suffers from is that it tries so hard to make sure that every time a new character is added, that character is like the main focus. And a lot of the time, the original characters from Tales of the Rays, Ix, Kokis, Melina, Marcus, it kind of makes them suffer. So it seems like what they really just want to keep the main six, the main focus of the story, whereas these events and side stories can actually, and I've already said multiple times in this video, can really flesh out what needs to be done there. So you keep the focus on the main characters in the main story, and you keep the focus on supporting characters in the side stories. And here they talk about Anime Expo in Los Angeles, where they promoted Tales of Crestoria at the gallery exhibit. Obviously, this is the entrance kind of area where you first walk into the door, and they actually, we hijacked the pillars of the entrance hall. Excuse me. And displayed Red Wanted posters with key visual art from Wit Studio. We love Wit, by the way. And obviously, these are just kind of like the concept art that we had for the main six characters. And then they're showing off, there was a skit which you can actually watch. If you go to their Twitter page for Tales of Crestoria English, there is an English skit that you can watch. We also set up a gallery booth and an AR experience booth on the left and right of the South Hall. As this was an event for anime fans, we used the gallery booth to reveal the characters' expression sheets for the first time. These are obviously referring to skit images. So these are the kinds of faces you'll see them making in skits. So like if you go up here, you know, these kinds of expressions that we'll actually see. Skits are, you know, what Tails is most known. So obviously, you know, it's this face right here and this face. So obviously that's going to be something we're going to see a lot of. Yeah, I said they would plan to post to the official site later, which they already have. At the AR Experience booth, you could take a commemorative photo with Kanata, Mizella, and Vicious's blood sins, which was a little funny thing. You know, you can see it right there. There was a little cosplay meetup at Anime Expo where they took some photos together, which was pretty cool. And that they're basically wrapping up here. In the future, I hope to show you some top secret images and behind the scenes stories from development. If you have any specific requests like what's going on with XX or I want to see XX, then please reply to the blog post tweet with your request and the hashtag Tales of Crestoria. We are working on getting Tales of Crestoria to you, and we sincerely look forward to you playing it. And that's pretty much it. So, long story short, it seems like it is in the final stretch of this game coming out. I mean, obviously, we're already in the 8th month of the year. We are in August, which means it comes out in 2019. So, I still don't think they're going to wait too much longer for multiple reasons. But obviously, the first one being they said it'll be just a little longer. You know, they're not saying anything like, oh, there were, you know, please be patient in the coming months or something like that. It'll just be a little longer. So I'd say this month, maybe early September at the very, very latest. Obviously, with most mobile games, you do get a pre-register thing in the app stores before they come out, usually like a week or so. So it'll be very interesting to see how long that takes. And obviously, the second it goes up for pre-registration and people have been confused about this one. I've mentioned it before. So the Japanese pre-registration wasn't actually pre-registration. Like, you weren't going... It was on the website, and then, you know, you just clicked something, and then you were, like, pre-registered through your computer. The actual pre-registration will be in the App Store, and then you'll get a notification when the game actually goes live. But obviously, if you're subscribed to this channel, you will know the moment it... Well, I wouldn't say the moment, because it'll probably take me, like, 3 minutes to be done screaming about how it's out. But you will know for sure if you are subscribed to this channel when it comes out as soon as it does. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm very excited for this game to come out, especially since we are going to have a English version that we don't really have to worry about shutting down. Obviously, Tales of the Rays, it was unfortunate what happened there, but with this, it seems like we can have a really good story with this new cast of characters. And we'll also see supporting characters come in to reprise their personalities here. Obviously, the only thing is, I don't really see this game being one that will add every character like Tales of the Rays is doing. I don't expect us, you know, within a year to have 50 plus characters. It'll probably be something where they'll slowly roll out characters, probably the most main ones. And I could see, like, villains and not-so-popular characters probably not making it in for years. I don't even know if they'd even make villains playable in a game like this, because it seems like they are just kind of want the focus to be on the main characters here, but I guess we'll see. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. When do you expect the game will be coming out? Don't forget to subscribe for more if you're new to the channel. I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.